Welcome back to Brick by Brick. Today we're going to be doing a prediction. In this case, it is going to be between the current Vice President, J.D. Vance, on the Republican side, and then on the Democratic side, it will be against Governor Gavin Newsom, the current governor of California. So this is one of the more likely of the potential outcomes for the general election in 2028. There are a lot of candidates, not quite as many on the Republican side that have been floated as possible nominees, but a couple Democrats and among them, Gavin Newsom has emerged as he's usually one of the top performing in the polls. Still a lot of time before the election, so a little bit too early to call, but this is just going to be a hypothetical, assuming each of them win their respective primaries. And I've already characterized all the safe, likely, and lean states. Let me double check. We also have the lean district there in Maine. It'll remain that way, but we will start going through each of these states. So I will start out with some states that are most likely going to end up in Democratic hands, that being the states of Minnesota and New Hampshire. These were the margins Harris won it by, so it's possible that Newsom could do a little bit better. 2024 was not a great showing for Democrats, so it's certainly possible. The margins in these states are also based off of 2024, which is why Jersey is lean, and a couple other states on there that maybe should be safe. But regardless, it's going to be electoral college votes for the respective party. So with that brings us to 225 for the Democrats, to 219 for their Republican candidate, J.D. Vance. And then we're going to start out now with the real swing states. We're going to go to the state of Nevada. In Nevada, I think that it will probably be Newsom will be able to win it. He's got the geographic proximity there to California. Although it is a little bit difficult to say, there are quite a few Californians who have left California and ended up in Vegas or somewhere in Nevada, for reduced taxes and things along those lines. But I just don't think that there are enough of that to tilt the Democratic lean of Nevada. It did go to Trump in 2024, so it could be possible things are changing. But I do think if the election were to be held today, it would go like that. Next up, I do think it will be a different case in the state of Arizona. This is going to be, I would guess, I'm predicting it to be a Republican victory, and so that's 11 more electoral college votes for J.D. Vance. Then we will get to the little district here in Nebraska. So this district, Harris was able to win it, and it is most likely going to remain in Democratic hands. It's just the one electoral college vote, but that can make the difference. If Democrats are able to win every swing state, or every Rust Belt swing state, then that would be enough. I can show you the math here. That would bring Democrats up to 276. Oh, they could even afford to lose Nevada. So this isn't my prediction yet, but that is just some of the numbers on the math side of things. And then I'm going to call the states of... We're going to add a tilt characterization. I think in Georgia and North Carolina, these would most likely end up in Democratic hands. I could definitely see, or in Republican hands. I think I'm actually going to change my prediction on Georgia. Georgia, Gavin Newsom, he's been trying to portray himself as a little bit more of a moderate, and I think that will be a helping factor in Georgia, but we'll have to see. First we'll have to see if these two candidates emerge as their respective primary winners, but I do think if it were going to be between those, it would probably be a split case with North Carolina going to Vance, and then Georgia going to Governor Gavin Newsom. And then we have the swing states left to characterize. I think that these are really the states that determine it all, the three Rust Belt states. I do think in the state of Pennsylvania, that would most likely end up in Republican hands. I do think that Wisconsin and Michigan are the two most likely to go to the Democrats. I will be interesting to see what happens. I think if the election were to be held today, that each of those two would end up going with Newsom, just because Republicans in polling are not looking great, Trump especially. And mind you, this is a different candidate. We're doing J.D. Vance in this case, but just kind of the general national sentiment toward the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. As you can see, it was certainly not a home run or a blue wave or anything, but I do think that it would most likely result in a slight Democratic victory, just because if the election were to be held today with these hypothetical candidates. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to like.